Here we are on the other side of the run. Welcome back to Story of Profits. Today I did 14K. Loving it. A lot of mental game worked on today because it's a little bit warmer. So the tail end, because I ran 7 one way, stopped, then ran 7 back. So the 7 back I was by myself, 7 there I was talking. And while I was talking, I was like noticing how easy it was to, like, because I talked to a couple different people. Because you kind of ebb and flow. Sometimes you know, at first you might be a little bit slower. So you stick with someone and then you're like, oh, okay, well, I'm going to go up, and you go to someone else. And it's kind of like, I don't know, we're fish or something. I don't know. I don't have an analogy right now. I just ran 14K. Be nice to me. So anyway, I was thinking about my anxiety on the way back and the fact that I have, like, I really do. I know it doesn't look like it. I know, you know, you're watching me here. You're like, he's got it made. He's like talking to everybody. He has people on to interview. He seems pretty easy to flow, but no, I still feel it. I still feel it every time I go to run. I still feel that anxiety every time I go out to a bar, to a function, whatever it is. I still feel that anxiety the extreme way. I just don't let it stop me anymore. I used to let it paralyze me. 1, I wouldn't go. 2, I would go and I would stay a very short time. Or 3, I would just go where I knew someone, and I would just stick with them, and they would be kind of my shield the whole time. But so to overcome that, like, how did I overcome that? Because I really didn't like break it down and go, okay, I'm going to try this, I'm going to try that. I just kind of flowed through it. Like, I've always been able to break things down to their pieces, examine them, and come up with a plan for it. It's just something that I've been easy. It's been easy for me. I don't know why. So I did, you know, I know my mind did that. So I broke down, first of all, the conversation. So for me, initiating a conversation is like you driving nails under each of my fingernails, super slowly, and then pouring some sort of salt or iodine on it. It is that painful, still that painful, but I've overcome it, and once I get into the conversation, that goes away. So it's leading up to that I feel that. So anyway, so this is what I've learned, and I hope it helps. Here are 3 or 4 kind of things that I have learned that I do now, and it's helped me. The more you do it, the more you do anything, you create an endurance. You start realizing that things aren't as bad as they seem. So I had trouble starting and ending conversations. To start a conversation was painful, and to end a conversation was painful. I had no idea how to do it either, and I would, in my head, while I was having a conversation with someone, I would be anxious-ridden, barely listening to them, trying to think, okay, how do I leave? How do I leave? I need to leave. I need to leave. I need to leave. I leave. And that's exactly what's going on in my brain. I have no idea if anyone else has experienced this, but that's what's going on. So anyway, here are some things. 1, when you first, want to start this, you want to go to events, organize events, like running. Running's a great example. Parties for something, like a wedding or a stag and doe, or really anything like that. Anything where there's a topic, a conversation that is outside you. So here are some things that I learned first. 1, no one cares about you as much as you think they care about you. They are not all looking at you. They are not all judging you. They are not all like thinking that you're weird or strange. It's not a thing. You've built it up in your mind to like such an extent that it's mind numbing. You got to get out of that mindset. It's not true. For the most part, people only care about themselves. Like, they care, that's not what I mean, but they care, they're sitting there, even the hottest women and men, the sex god ones, are still looking in the mirror going, oh, you know what, like my hair's just, or, oh, I shouldn't wear this shirt, it looks stupid. Everyone feels it. It's not just you. It's just, for you, it's mind numbing. It stops you cold. So get out of that mindset. It's not a thing. Like, you don't need to worry about that as much as you do. 2, and this is the most important thing that I've learned, there's not a soul in this world that doesn't love talking about themselves. So you are not in charge of the whole conversation. I know, mind blowing. I always thought if a conversation didn't go well, it was my fault. I did something wrong. It petered off. So obviously whatever topic I picked, it was my fault. Well, two of us are having the conversation. Maybe it's their freaking fault. It's not always your fault. You don't own every problem in the world, and you can't own every problem in the world. So if a conversation peters off, so what? It's just the two of you aren't jiving anymore. Move on. It's fine, bud. All right, so here we go. Here's how I do it. So today, running. I started running with someone, and I started with the conversation. I never ask, where do you work, or anything like that. I always start with like the activity you're at. So mine is, how long have you been running? You'd be surprised how long someone can talk about how long they've been running. And then you ask questions about them. And if at some point, oh, you know what, I really relate to that. That's it. And then eventually they're going to ask you how long you've been running. And then, you got 5 minutes of conversation right there, or 10 minutes of conversation. So you're killing it already. And you're doing an activity which is distracting you, right? It's getting that energy out. And then, so that's how you start, and you just flow with it. It ebbs and flows, and we talk about your kids and all that stuff. But that's how you start it. And that's one example. And then how I end it while running is either I say to them, you know what, this pace is a little much for me. I'm going to back off a bit. You keep going. Thanks very much. It was nice meeting you. Or I say, oh, you know what, I'm prepping for a race, so I'm going to just speed up here. And I take off. Either one is acceptable to runners. They all get it. Okay, so at a party. So I'm at a Stag and Doe. And so the first question, obvious question is, do you know someone here? Pretty easy question. They're going to tell you. Oh yeah, how did you guys meet? Ask them questions about themselves. You already have a starter question, and then you'll ebb and flow through, other things. And then when you think you're ready to go, and this is brilliant, I don't know how I figured this out, there's always someone in the room, right? Always someone in your room. So you look at the person and you go, you know what, I just saw Jill. I just got to go talk to her. It was really nice talking to you. Nice to meet you. I hope I see you later at the party. And then you walk away and you go over and you go, hey Jill, how's it going? Right? You always have like someone you really know that you feel comfortable with as that escape. So there will be a couple of people at the party that are escapers. So you use them. I know it's wrong to use people, but in this case you use them. You go to the stranger you want to talk to, you go talk to them, you do your thing, how do you know the couple? And then you're like, oh, you know what? I see Bob over there. I'm going to go talk to Bob. And so you have 3 new people to converse with. And isn't that beautiful? And, you alleviate some of that anxiety of what am I going to talk about? How am I going to get out of this conversation? Those are 2 big components. Or they were for me. Maybe they're not for you. I don't know if they're for you, what your anxiety is. But that was mine. A lot of it was people are judging me. I'm not going to be liked. I don't know how to start a conversation, and I don't know how to end a conversation. I really didn't. I really struggled with this stuff, and I don't know why. I'm not sure. But now, it's not a thing because I've learned these skills. Now, there are days when it doesn't matter, that anxiety gets the best of me, and you know what? I'm at there, and I'm not like trying to talk to other people. I stay, hidden. And that's okay once in a while. But you want to overcome this anxiety. You need to get out there. You need to join into life, because life is so worth living. And the more you do this, it's like a muscle. The more you flex your muscle, the more you get your mental anxiety working on that anxiety. The more you go out to do things, the more you go to like just activities. There's all kinds of activities. There's festivals. There's I don't know. I can't think of anything right now, but there's so many activities out there. The library, the library is a place. Anyway, get out there, work on that anxiety, work on that mental game. Anyway, as always, like I'm working on this stuff too. Like this is stuff that we're learning together, buddy. So if you're out there, know that I struggle every day just like you do. So Let's work on our minds, bodies, and souls together. And I mean that, together. You and I are doing this together every step of the way. If you have a question, you want to, talk to me about something, message me. I will answer. I don't have 1 million followers, so it's pretty easy for me to answer you, but I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear if you think, if you identified with any of this. I'd love to know. I'd love to know, like, other people out there. Maybe we can figure out this struggle a little bit together, and you can give me some advice too. Anyway, let's heal our minds, bodies, and souls together. Soaring Prophets, James. Have a wonderful day. I'm already having a great day.